everyone, in this art lesson we are going to paint a quick and easy pine tree. Let's jump right in. I mixed together a little bit of cadmium yellow and Prussian blue and a little bit of black to make this nice middle green color. Start by painting in the basic structure of the tree. Keep your strokes nice and loose. And I like to look at a photo of a tree, or you could even look at a tree in real life, but kind of look for the overall lights and darks to get the basic structure of the tree going on here. And remember that in nature, trees are going to be a little bit irregular, usually. You know, there might be more branches sticking out in one area than another, or, you know, a little bit lopsided or not completely symmetrical the way you might imagine a tree is. I'm also thinking about the way that the branches swoop out and down. And this is a fir tree, so they do kind of swoop out and down. Other trees might have different kind of a branch structure than this. All right, I rinsed out my brush. Now I'm going in and adding in the trunk. I'm using a little bit of burnt umber mixed with black. I'm going to paint the right side of the trunk. So I'm imagining that the light is hitting the left side of the trunk. So I'm concentrating the color on the right hand side. Then I will go back in and draw the color across to the left hand side. All right, rinse out my brush, and just using the stamp brush, I'm going to pull the color across. And use the color that's already on the paper and pull out. So you can already start to see that highlight showing up on the left. Ooh, a little bit too much paint right there, so I just lifted it off with my brush. All right, there we go. Now I'm going to add in this is cadmium yellow mixed with a little bit of Prussian blue to make a nice light green. So I'm going to go in and add this in to the tops of the branches, mostly on the tops of the branches. I am slowly building up, little by little, building up the layer and color. Notice where I overlap the light yellow onto the light green onto the medium green. I'm getting even more texture and different colors added to the painting. This is actually called glazing. Now you can impress all your friends with your art lingo that you are glazing when you're adding these thin layers, thin washes of color. And still keeping my strokes nice and loose. All right, so that's a good start. Now I'm going to go in with this dark green. It's a mix of Prussian blue, a little bit of the cadmium yellow, and then some black for a nice dark green. I'm concentrating this mostly on the bottom parts of the branches, but again referring back to my photo to kind of see where those areas of lights and darks are. I know I am painting kind of quickly here. I have not speeded up the video. This is all in real time that I'm painting. But do go at your own speed. You can pause the video and start and restart, so you're able to go at your own speed. They're starting to build up this nice contrast with the darks in the painting. This is a really good painting just to practice making strokes, practice layering up that color, practice the techniques. All right, so you can see my tree is really starting to come together right now. It's actually looking like a tree. All right, rinsing out my brush, and I got a little bit of black on the tip of my brush and just adding a little bit of shadow onto the right side of the trunk. This will up the contrast and just make the painting a little bit more interesting. When I sit back and take a look at my paintings, I usually like the ones that have a little bit more contrast. That is a bigger difference between the lights and darks. So lots of dark darks and lots of light lights and a few, all of the colors in between. I'm adding a few little branches here and there using my black and burnt umber mix. I'm not painting every single branch, obviously, but just a few here and there. Kind of adding a little bit more detail to this painting. Yeah, it's kind of like when you look up into the canopy of a forest and you might see a few little branches, but you're not gonna see every single branch. And a few little twigs sticking out here and there. All right, I could leave my tree just like this. If I like it, looks very tree-like and I like it. However, I'm gonna go back in and add a few more layers of these colors just to add a little bit more texture and color. So I'm starting with the green, the light green mix. And building up a little bit more of these highlights, mostly on the tops of the branches. But again, I can refer back to my photo and see where these lights and darks really are. And now some more of this middle green. And now some more of this dark green. Now I'm concentrating kind of on bigger shadowy areas. mostly on the undersides of the branches again, where they would be in more shadow. Of course, avoid making patterns. Keep your strokes nice and loose and irregular. All right, I'm going to rinse out my brush and add in just a few little dabs of red here and there. This just adds a nice little pop of color. And when you look at things in nature and squint your eyes, you can actually see all the different colors coming together to make up that object. It's never just like a tree. It's never just a solid green. It's composed of all the different colors that we see in nature. And so actually here, you could even add in a few dabs of purple, browns, or blues, or other colors that you see. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this art lesson. Please like and subscribe and look for more great art lessons at artlooklearn.com.